Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Ousama Ranking Episode 7. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I've been looking forward to this all week because it continues to be just the bestest show. It's so cute and also so horrifying, and it is both in spades, and I like it a lot. Welcome back to Ousama Ranking Wednesday, everybody. I am once again up so fucking early today. I don't know why. It's 10:30 and I'm fully I ate breakfast and I did some stretches and I showered and I watched like an hour of YouTube videos and I'm doing great. I hope you all are having a great morning as well. And if not, then hopefully a little dose of Ousama Ranking can help out with that. It certainly seems to help me out. So let's go ahead and get on into it. So, a couple things to do. Let's talk about what happened last time. So there are really two fronts of what happened last time. On the Boji side, we went down to Desha's palace. I will also just use this moment to shout out, who is it? Shoutouts to Anutham Suresh, who later in his comment writes, P.S. Desha is pronounced Desha, which is Hades. No idea about Despa, though, but somebody else... Oh, I don't actually know where somebody wrote that. It's not in the comments. It's somewhere else. It must have been on my Discord. Says that Despa is probably Spade. Doesn't make sense to me now, but maybe it will in the future. Maybe it's spoilers. I don't know. Cool. Good to know. We figured out that Desha is Hades, but we went and we met him, and we were challenged to fight the leader of an extremely well-known group of knights and guards, who we did fight, and Boji proved himself to some extent. While we were kicked away from Desha and not allowed any help, he did give us the next link in the chain, the next point in our journey, and told us about his brother Despa, who is actually the one that we were seeking out in the first place, and the way for Boji to get stronger. So that's what we're going to do. We met him at the end of the episode, and that's going to go some direction. He seems weird, and I'm curious about who this character is going to be and how it's going to play out, but we don't really know. And we've got our little letter of recommendation and some other things, and it's all good. We're going to have a good time, hopefully not getting murdered by this blonde guy. On the other side of things, the Daida side of things, things just got bad and weird. We met Miranjo, who, shoutouts to Ninja Pope Zhu, too scared to look stuff up to confirm because of spoilers, but I'm guessing that Miranjo is a play on Mira no Jo, Woman of the Mirror. That makes perfect sense. I don't know if it's true, but it makes perfect sense, and if they did it unintentionally, then they're geniuses. And if they did it intentionally, well... they're still pretty good. Miranjo's a scary lady who lives in a mirror now and has her own plans, and those plans were to friendlily just guide Daida on his path to becoming a king, right? Getting him some power. No threat inherent in that at all. Nothing spooky going on at all. Until he refuses and she tries to use her minion creatures to force him. Daida once again proves that he is still a king of some kind, if not a high-ranked one, and fights them off real good before his old loyal servant, sort of, Appius Supia, shows up. And after a little whispered conversation with Miranjo, his whole demeanor changes, and he makes a choice. Daida is knocked out. The weird blood elixir concoction is gathered up from the floor and wrung out from a rag. And Daida will be going along with Miranjo's plans whether he wants to or not. And it really fucking sucks, because in those moments of his refusal, we got a picture of this character as somebody fighting so hard against expectations, fighting so hard to be worthy, to be worthwhile, fighting against envy and lust for power and temptation, and choosing to follow his mentor Bebin's words and not take a shortcut, to go the long way, to go the hard way. And that choice to go his own path has been taken away from him by Miranjo for her own goals. What those goals are and how they'll interact with the rest of the world, how they interact with the ranking of kings, how they interact with everything else, is yet to be seen. As has continued to be the case in this show, every episode it feels like we broaden our scope a little bit, we show a little bit more, we reveal a little bit more about the world. And yet, the way it all will come together, the broader picture still eludes me, still eludes us all. And I think that is a testament to really good writing. I think that that is wonderful. It's breadcrumbing out these little bits and pieces of deliciousness and bringing us closer and closer into what we know is an inevitable trap. And I'm happy for it. I can't be ready for it, but I know it's coming and it will continue coming. And there's no like stopping this trap because the trap is going to be every episode and it's going to hurt every episode, but it's going to be good and it's going to be interesting, probably all the way through. And that's very exciting to me. I'm very excited by everything about the show, and it continues to just make me more amped. Let's go through a couple of comments. I'll start with the easy ones in first. Nicholas writes, sick cut. I think Ousama ranking last week's one was the first episode, the first reaction where I had a haircut. So thanks, Nicholas. I appreciate it. I also think it was a sick cut. It was super worth it going to a good barber, and I'll be going back to him in a couple of months to get it cut again. Because honestly, like there were some things about the way that my hair was in terms of length that need a little bit more time to grow out before it can be cut properly again. So I'd need to let it grow out a little bit and then get them cut again, and it'll be even sicker. Fuck yeah. On the same note, the twin-tailed not comment. Honestly, the twin-tailed comment is not a bad like alt name for your channel. Twintail. But Twintail, first off, I love your channel title, and I also really like your profile picture. I don't know if it's a reference to something, but it's super sick, and I like it a lot. Writes, I liked your longer hairstyle in the past. Yeah, me too, but it's annoying. The dashing you now is great too. Thanks, I appreciate that. I get relatively frequent comments about my hair, especially when it was long. I'm gonna keep it shorter. I'm sorry. I actually prefer it this way. I like the way it looks a little bit better, and also it's way less maintenance, and way less time that I have to spend in the shower, which actually is a problem. Ladies out there, you know what's up. If you have hair past shoulder length, it's a bitch. It's so fucking, it sucks so much. Like, while I had hair that long, about half my shower time was just not even putting shampoo into my hair, just getting shampoo out of my hair. Because I have really fine, very straight hair, and that means there's a lot of actual surface area, so a lot of shampoo gets in it, and then it can't get out. So it takes fucking forever. It's so annoying. And then there's the gym, and it gets hot, and it's sweaty, and it's California, and all those things. So for various reasons, I'm keeping it short. I'm glad that some people like it. I don't actually care. I'm going to cut my hair the way that I want it. Sorry. The fact that I have to like be a face on a camera for you is somewhat secondary to feeling okay with myself. So that's what I'm going to do. Moving on, Elias Fitzgerald writes, I love all the little bits of animation, like how Desha is constantly twiddling with his little baton thing. You're right. I noticed that all the way through. The little spinning baton is so cute. There are so many little bits and pieces like that. It's unnecessary, but it adds so much. I agree. I always like additional things in animation. Who doesn't? More animation is more. It's more. What's wrong with more? Now, that said, of course, you can go too far. It's just hard. And you have to be bad at something else to make it actually go too far. Good animation, you can go as far as you want. See Gurren Lagann, see any Trigger show, see almost any Gainax show, see Akiyuki Shinbo, see Shatami Galaxy, that guy, Ping Pong, that guy, you know what I mean. Masaaki Yuasa. And animation gone right with lots of it, it's great. Animation that's dumb and there's no reason for it is dumb. In this case, it's somewhere in between and it's great. Cool. Bigger comments. Onto the more serious things. JAV Gamer writes, I like how Kage had to explain to Boji what the captain said because he has the helmet on so Boji couldn't read his lips. Good catch. I didn't catch that. That's a good note. We know it's honestly, it's easy to forget about like Boji's disabilities or different abilities. He's not able to hear, and he still manages to function as a character really effectively. And so that moment fully flew by my head because I just see Boji and Kage as like a squad now. They're just a team, and it's super cute. Great comment, thank you. Lily Airier writes, I was so excited for the rag scene, lol. So disgusting, yet effective at foreshadowing what terrible plot lays ahead. Well, I don't know what it foreshadows, but yeah, it's gross. It's solid spooky shit. It's fucked up. To finish off Ninja Pope Zhu, because I only read a little piece of the comment, this is the one that started with Miranjo as a play on Mira no Jio. Couldn't help but notice how the various monster races seem to have a thriving society in the underworld, but the moment one tries to leave for the surface, they're hunted down. Looked like the one guy was just buying bread in a seemingly typical transaction and he was still executed. Order seems to be very important in this world, to the point where such segregation exists, and where kings must be ranked in some mysterious system. Juxtapose that with the king in the wilderness with his bonfire dancing and giant nature reincarnation vacuum worshipping, the price of breaking free of the system is loss of sanity? Question mark. Guess we'll see. I think this is a fantastic comment because it hits on multiple elements of the world. First of all, the pretty clear hatred, destruction, a willingness to kill monsters or underworldoids, whatever they are, whatever we want to call them, who come up from down below is very interesting, and also parallels to some extent the way that Kage was treated and his clan. This idea of like cleansing the upper world seems to be persistent here, and you're right that it falls into some level of order and hierarchy, but I want to draw a distinction between the two things that you're talking about because we don't know if they're necessarily related. The Desha's army going and hunting, or like the army going and hunting down and killing people who escape from the underworld is really interesting. What's more interesting to me is that there is a thriving ecosystem in the underworld, like there are cities and stuff, right? So then the question that comes into my mind is, why do people leave the underworld? Because if it were a situation where the underworld is hell and all it is prisons and fire and chains and whips, some people might stay forever because they would like that kind of thing. Some people would try to leave because it's bad, and not everybody is a hard masochist, like... Duh. Some people would try to leave, but that's not the situation. We don't get a reason why they would try to leave. It seems like there's villages and towns and markets and things, essentially everything that you would need. So why would people from the underworld go up to the overworld? That's a very interesting question that hasn't been answered yet, and I'm very curious to find out. But the other thing that you bring up, I think, is really interesting. The pervasive segregation of the world, the ranking of things and the ranking of kings, obviously. The hierarchies of order and structure, the fact that there is a feudal system in place with kings in the first place, and that there are nobles and other things like that that we've met before, like Count Gessling or whatever he was. I don't remember if he was a count something. Count seems right because he's evil. It's interesting. It immediately sets up a social background, a backdrop for our show that's pretty different from most shows. I mean, most shows live in a world that's like our world, and this is not like our world, right? Even those shows where an isekai happens or they're full fantasy, usually they're in some kind of simple fantasy trope, and they basically ignore the power dynamics of being there, right? There are kings, and they are kings, and they tell you to go kill the demon lord, and you go kill the demon lord. Fuck yeah, whatever. Or more accurately, the princess who is hot tells you to go kill the demon lord, and you do it, and you maybe get the princess in your harem. Great. But it doesn't really deal with those things like actually deeply. In this show, it's the center of the thing. The show is not the greatest king. That's not the name of the show, right? It's not called Boji's Path to Becoming Good King Man Who Not Sad Because Differently Abled, right? That's not the name of the show. The show is called Ousama Ranking. The show is called Ranking of Kings. The show is about the hierarchy, and it's about moving through it. That's an important distinction. It's really interesting. And it's crucial that we meet that king in the wilderness early. Now, we've already sort of inferred, and other people have through their comments, I actually don't know if they know what they're talking about or if they're just saying that what they think at the moment, because sometimes it's hard to tell whether somebody has watched ahead and knows that their comment is leading or is just predicting. Sometimes it's just hard to tell. I think it might have been some of both, so I think I'm on the right track here because of that, and that's a little annoying, but it's also okay. It's fine. I'm not going to worry about it too much. The idea that there is this divine gift that the greatest king gets to achieve, and immediately, and I think in the same episode that idea is introduced, we are introduced to a king in the wilderness who is still a king, but a king of nothing except himself, and seems happy with that to some extent, but is erratic and insane, is very interesting. Whether Whether the divine gift causes that insanity or not is unclear. But for certain, your line, Ninja Pope Zhu, the price of breaking free of the system is loss of sanity, is a very interesting one. It has deep ramifications and like an echoing ripple effect in terms of the way that I think about the piece of media and how it interacts with the real world. Because in the real world, we live in systems. We require those systems to exist effectively. It's simply true. And I spent a lot of wasted effort in my life trying to push against that. And that's insanity to some extent on a social level. Now, it's not psychological insanity necessarily in the way that we see with this king, but to move outside of the system is viewed by the people within the system as insane. And to some extent, to a large extent, for solid evolutionary reasons, they're right. If you're in a tribe and the tribe works one way and you decide to go, I'm not going to go hunter-gatherer anymore, I'm going to go try to live on the beach and fish for my life, and nobody else goes with you, you're the crazy dude who went to the beach and tried to live there. Until you make a living and attract a mate and start building your own family and tribe out there, right? Until you make something else happen. You're insane. You're bonkers. You're stupid for running away from the way that things work. And the same is true for the systems that are fundamental to our daily lives as individuals living mostly in Western nations and mostly in first or second world nations are the people who are watching my videos. That's just the case. Partly because those are the people who have currently the financial support to have access to the technology to watch videos like this, and the people who aren't struggling to survive and can spend inordinate amounts of time watching some dumb dude in California talk about anime. So it makes sense, to me at least, why that's the case. But in our systems, running away from the system, moving away from the system, breaking free from the system, which I think a lot of people want, especially when they're young, especially when we're teenagers and in through our 20s, the desire to break free of the system is huge. The fear of becoming a part of a whole or amalgamated into the mass of collective humanity and losing your individuality is horrifying. I mean, that's the entire theme of the end of Evangelion, right? Like, there are reasons why that's a fundamental piece of media. There are reasons why so much of our media explores individuality and like the difficulty of finding that individuality and also surviving at the same time. But it's really interesting and really pointed that just those couple of scenes can bring out this much thought and this much discussion on such subjects. And I think that's a very good indication about the way that the author of Ousama Ranking thinks about these things and thinks about his, is it him? I think it's him. Thinks about their story. I'll just go gender neutral for it because I actually don't know if the author's male. I assume so, but I shouldn't. Yeah. Good fucking comment, Ninja Pope Zhu. Honestly, top comment of the day. I don't want to shit on anybody else for sure, but top comment of the day. Let's fucking go. We got another good one coming from Anutham Suresh. I did read out that Desha is pronounced Desha, which is Hades, but the beginning of that comment is, thanks for reading out my comment from last time. You're welcome. Keep writing good comments. I'll keep fucking reading them, is what I want to do. I'd like to call attention to the most tragic thing in this episode for me. Daida is now in a place where no one around him seems to believe in him. I'm still young, he says. I want to believe in my own potential, he says. His most trusted aide tells him, no. You can't bear that burden. You need Boss A's power. You are not good enough. And I'll add this, you never will be. Not without my help. And I will take a step back there to say that this is the core of an abusive relationship in one direction. There are many types of abusive relationships. But the idea that you are not good enough without me, that's a bad no-no. Big flago redo. Anyway, continuing on. What's interesting here is that this is the same position Boji has been in since he was born, and only now do people seem to be putting their trust in his ability to learn and grow, mostly Kage, and some other people. The opposite is happening to Daida here, and it's so damned sad. There's no one that he truly cares about that seems to believe in him. Yeah. Daida and Boji are undergoing character arcs in opposite trajectories, and it's so goddamn well written I could cry. I might. I don't know. We'll see, man. Yes, their arcs are in different directions. Daida is raised up to the level of king and destroyed because of it. Boji falls down into the depths of hell and will be lifted up because of it. Daida spent his whole life believing and having everyone around him believe that he was the more worthy one, and Boji was the one to shit on. And as soon as Boji leaves, he is told he is unworthy and forced into a situation that will destroy him, and more importantly, destroy his ability to make choices like believing in his own potential. He will never get to find that out for himself. The people around Daida who actually were like valuable and interesting and important and cared about him, mostly, namely, top of the list, and this is a surprise maybe, Bebin, who stood behind him, who was trying to save both of them, who taught him so much, who told him and taught him not to take shortcuts, and was ordered to go kill Oppius and killed for it, as far as we know. Bebin's gone. Healing was more focused on Boji. And whether she actually was, whether she cares about Daida or not, I think she does. He's her son, and I expect that she does. He watched her expression as she watched Boji leave. And to Daida, he lost her in that moment, whether he actually did or not. So really, truly, you're right. He is alone. And we don't know what he's going to become in that position. And that's very scary. And very, very exciting. I like this story. I like this show. 22 minutes of opening discussion seems like a good amount to me. Let's move on, shall we? All right. So, close out of that so that I don't have it up. Pull up Ousama ranking, and we're good to go. Give me 1 second. I'm going to take a quick break just for a sec. All right, here we go. I've got episode 7 of Ousama ranking up and ready to roll. It's at 0 seconds. There will be 2 versions of this reaction video. You can, as always, find a picture-in-picture version with the video up there in the corner, linked down there in the description. Timer-based version will be up on YouTube. You're already watching it, so just stick around if that's the one you want. And we'll have, of course, discussion at the end, so if you're going to watch the PiP, come back for that. If you want to sync up with the beep timer, get your copy ready, because the beep timer to count you down will be coming at you in a moment. Shilling. Patreon exists. It's the only way I make my money. I'm on Instagram now. I've been posting stuff. You would have seen the haircut early. If that's a reason to go there. I'm mostly posting fitness content. I go to the gym 3 times a week, and I've been doing some fun stuff, and so I'm posting about it. It's boring, but I don't think it's that boring. It's interesting, and mostly I just want a backlog of my progress and like to see how it goes as I progress. So if you want to follow that, please do. It would be my pleasure to have you. Also, you'll maybe see things about my life like breakfast and cats and I don't know, other fun things. So check it out if you want to. Recently, I have been fairly frequently, most days, not all days, generally probably not on Monday, Wednesday, Friday because gym days, but most other days I've been streaming for at least a couple hours every day on twitch.tv, streaming Elden Ring. I just hit affiliate status, which kind of happened instantly, and I sort of speed ran it because when you come from one platform and you go to another platform, you could bring people from the one platform over to the other platform. And so, like, my first stream had, like, 18 concurrent viewers, which is not normal. And so all the stats kind of went all the way to affiliate really fast, which is neat and cool. I'm probably not going to do the subs and Prime button and donations and all that stuff. I don't want to. So Patreon for that as well. But check me out on Twitch. You can follow me. It's Teeaboo YouTube, and all of those things will be linked in the description. Sweet. We're done. Fuck off. Stop shilling your shit, Teeaboo. I get it. I know. But it all really helps, and it is important. Also, likes, comments, subscribes. I'll just shout it out, and we're going. Beep timer. Motivation. All right, here we are. Ah, Jesus. God damn it, we're starting here. Obvious. Glug glug. Chug the jug. It'll resurrect him? Or will it resurrect Bosse? Dude, these angles are nuts on Obvious. They're so overdramatic. It's perfect. Wow, the mirror. Did it work? Again, that angle. I think it worked. Are his eyes a different color? I'm not sure. Is the mirror inside him? What is it? What happened? I don't know. I don't know. All we can do is watch. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. That little speck of darkness. All right. And here we are. The apprenticeship. Hello. Konnichiwa bochi. Oh. Yoroshiku. No. Will we find out more about Baby? He dead. Ah. How did they even roll it up? Oh. He's a jerk. He's a big jerk face. He's Waluigi. Oh, you know it, dog. Yeah, he's Waluigi. But he's the second powerful king. Good looks? Girlfriends? So why aren't you king? Okay, very modest. Yeah. And then they punched it a bunch. What? That's it? He just hates being Waluigi? Okay. Yeah, so modest. Bro. That's rough, dog. Hmm. Hmm. The desire. Ah. I like that as a story element. Courage in all its forms is the distinguishing factor that can make an ordinary man a king. That's cool. I like that. Yeah. Yeah. Keep walking forward. It would be different advice. No. Hmm? Great. Oh, he loves money. God damn it. Oh. Oh. Ooh, a potion. Kage is a bag of... Check the chest! Gems? Fuck. This'll do. Yeah. Oh, it's so cute and so fun. All right, let's go. Training montage. Training montage. Training montage. Please. Yeah, what is your house like? Yeah, hold on. We just paid your ass. Don't fuck around. We're here for reasons. Them some pantaloons. Gonna give us weird challenges? Okay. I'll believe it. Oh. You're an empath. I don't mean to make oh shit, it's real. Dude, those like little 3D-ish shots that they're doing are so cool. Whoa. He's gonna see... Nye. It's been stolen. It's part of the curse. Fucking tell us! Okay. Okay. Strength is not the answer. But... Ooh. It's 0-0. It all zeroes out. Oh, no. He's not done yet, dog. Oh, he's so shook. Wait. Boing. That's what's up. Honor. There are other ways. Strength is not the only way. Dexterity works too. Yes. Yes. Okay. Thanks, weird face mask creature. Dishwashing. Hmm. Seems pretty egotistical, but he seems great. Okay. Yes. Oh, the money. Oh, what did you drop? Uh. Excuse me? What? And it didn't go well for you, huh? You should see the other guy, huh? He beat you, black and blue dog. I think there's a reason you're not king, dog. But you might be a great trainer anyway. Sir, yes, sir. We'll follow for a little bit. Yeah, he's pretty weak. That's okay, though. Ha-boom! Ha! They've got two beds. Why doesn't he just be his face mask? True. Nope, that's part of the fucking training, dude. part of the training. Ah. Oh, so fucking cute. Good morning. He's got a picture of himself. Oh, Boji's off doing it. Making it happen. Ooh, 0 strength. Shit. This is part of the training. This is part of the training. Nothing. Oof. Whee! Ooh. Do it everywhere. Oh. I can accomplish things. I can effect change upon the world with my own 2 hands. Do not cut your fucking hands off. Oh, that pot is too big. Can't break an egg. Oh. What? No. I don't... Buddy, I don't think that's how you... Food. Whoa, that was sick. Nice kicks, dude. It's becoming the wrong color. What have you done? You gotta shell the egg. You really gotta shell the egg. It's gonna be delicious. It's gonna be delicious. Watch it be amazing. Oji's gonna love it. I guess his taste buds are fried too. Or will it just look shitty on the outside and be delicious? To him. Cut. What have you done? Whoa. Oh, shit. Tripping balls. Oh. Oh. Please don't. You're fully hallucinating all of this, right? No, you're just thinking it through. Oh, the flavor profile is different because he's a giant. What he likes is different. Extremely small, and yet he is the opposite of all of these things that are giants. Okay, I didn't think so. It means there's a curse, right? Oh. Oh. Sick. Poison resistance. Impossible. He must never find out. Let's go training time. Sit in this empty room and think. Hmm. I like that. Okay. Big weapon room? What you got down here, Despa? Whoa. Like a needle? Or a feather? The feather in the water. Quill pen. Oh, a giant sword that I can't lift. Reflections of unworthiness. A giant axe that I can't lift. Feels like me playing a dex build in Elden Ring. Honestly, this is exactly how that game feels playing a dex build. Oh, a cool big axe that I can't pick up. No. I don't think so, dog. Oh, shit. Whew. Thank you, Despa. What's up there? We're not showing it. What is it? Fuck. Fuck. Wow. Well, I hear the dings. I wonder what it is. That's so cool. Again, another, like, mystery. Mm-hmm. Ah! Clunk. Ha! Just got a bed right there. Every day. Same deal. That's so great. That's so great. At least he isn't cooking. Hmm. Fuck yeah, man. Hmm. I see. Surprise you with his growth. Hell yeah, dude. Aww. Oh, yep. Gripping it, getting those calluses. Build up that sturdiness. Very good. And we're up. And we're going. And we're on. Study. Knowledge. Growth. Development. Flip it the other way, do something else. Oh, he's still going. Off to the other things. Hello. Cleaning. Yeah, work that butt. Work those legs. Get stronger. It's important. Yummy. Yummy. Kage's becoming a good cook. Oh, we're Rocky now. Just need a fucking hoodie. Oh, are we actually gonna Rocky on this hilltop? No fucking way. Do it, 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 do it. Oh, Jesus. What? That's so fucking sick. It just runs back. What? Oh. It's refreshing. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh. Hmm. Fuck, that looks good. Every time he eats, it's weird. Oh, fuck, it's so wholesome. Everything's gonna go so horribly soon. I know it, but it's so wholesome. Ah. That might be the horrible. It wasn't here. Did he just Kimetsu no Yaiba split a boulder? Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Ending scene. Up the steps he climbs. Again, the angles are crazy. Is it Bosse? Is he keeping his own... Is he keeping his own power? Reincarnation. Resurrection. They stole Ida's body. So that he could stay king? Whoa. But it might not be Bosse, right? It might be somebody else. And he said another? Maybe Bosse wasn't Bosse. Right? Maybe Bosse was his dad. Maybe the giantness goes down every time? Or something crazy. And then what's the devil? Whoa, what a crazy ending line. That totally fucks me up, man. Okay. Wow, that was a cool episode. Man, it's both way more wholesome and way more horrifying than anything that's come before. How fucking fascinating is that? Man, okay, we're just gonna go through it. That's really interesting, and there's a bunch of interesting stuff going on. The giant stuff, the power that Boji seems to be accumulating and accomplishing, and then the Daida stuff. So, Oppius watches, and we start showing these angles that are just so fucking weird. They're so wrong. Everything's all fisheyed in a weird angle, in a weird way. The characters are three-dimensionally like placed in the scene and moving past it in a strange way that feels unreal. And we use this technique throughout this opening sequence to make things feel deeply unsettling. It's more than just Dutch angling. It's everything about the camera feels wrong and twisted and warped. It's amazing. It's amazing. And the facial expressions and the deed is done, and so she nods. I will now recite the resurrection spell. Again, spinning camera. And Oppius is unreadable. I don't know why he is the way that he is. Maybe because she has control over him. Maybe that was the change that she made in him. I don't know. But he seems to be like gritting his teeth against what's happening, as though he's almost an unwilling participant. It's so interesting. And the resurrection spell begins and continues. And he struggles and falls limp. And we wait. And the eyes open once more. I mean, we know that it's somebody else in his body now. I'm just going to go check Daida in the previous episode. Were his eyes that color? I forget. Yeah, they were. There's still that dark gray blue is the right color for his eyes. Okay. So those didn't change. Everything else did, though. And yet we don't even know what it means. Not fully. All right. On to the wholesome stuff, because, yeah. Honestly, unfortunately, and this is intentional from the story's perspective, it's pushing us along in a different direction at the moment, and I'm okay with that. We spend most of this episode training with Boji and making progress, and that's great. It's a great little breather between, like, thing happening. Not a lot happens in this episode. On the Daida side, nothing really happens. The resurrection ritual is complete, but we already knew it was going to be, whatever the ritual was. We just see that one line at the end, which tells us some of what's going on. And that's very important and very interesting and very good. But that's actually very little to talk about because it's just mystery at this point. Maybe there's some clue or hint that I'm missing that I could infer more from. I don't really care. It's really cool as it is, and I'm okay with leaving it as a mystery at the moment. So we will find that out when the author decides that we should find it out, and I'm all right with that. Let's focus on this stuff because it's very fun. Again, I think this is light stuff, and I think for the most part, our discussion is going to be pretty light around it as well. There are some cool reveals and some cool, interesting moments, and meeting and understanding Despa has been very fun. I actually really like him as we come to meet him. I was quite suspicious of him, and as we come to meet him, I quite like him. He's a set of contradictions built into a character that I think are really interesting, and I'd love to find out more about the reasons behind some of those contradictions. For example, if you are so handsome and great and modest and kind and strong and valuable and powerful and wonderful, why the fuck aren't you king? That's a really huge question that we haven't really addressed yet, and I'm very interested in it. Maybe because he's not good at it, which is maybe something that is somewhat revealed by just how egotistical he seems, and by the fact that he gets in bar fights. Like, there might be some reasons. But it's very interesting. I also think it's very interesting that Desha, the brother who hated himself, his physicality, his physical features and face, is currently the second most powerful king. It implies that maybe he, like, saw struggle in the world and fought super hard to become powerful in order to, like, by focusing on the things about himself that he could change as opposed to focusing on the things that he can't change. And that maybe is a reflection on Boji, and maybe is a reflection on all of us. Sometimes we spend a lot of our time and a lot of our effort getting bogged down, worrying and hating ourselves for things about ourselves that we can't change. And we might be much, much better people if we focused on the things that we can actually materially affect in ourselves and in the world. It's a perspective shift. It's an interesting and important one. All right, so we're here. Lots of little bits of cool animation, like him flinging himself around. What is this? This is sudden. Here, I have a letter, and he... Great gag. Why? Why is this way? So he reads it. Oh, your boss's son. Well, my brother can be so cruel. That sucks. Sure, but... Oh, yeah, also... Modesty, industriousness, concern for the people, and virtue, but fuck you, pay me. And he smashed his own face in because he hates his own face. And the people of the kingdom made it to honor him, meaning that he is honorable. When we first saw this, that's really interesting, right? When we first see this, my immediate thought, because I live in the modern era and this happens, is Desha is a dictator who built a large stone metal statue of himself, and the people hate him, so they bashed it. Right? Familiar to recent, within decades, events, like the fall of the statues of Hussein, exact parallel. That's where my mind goes. No, it's the opposite. The people liked him so much they made a statue of him, and he hates the statue and he hates looking at himself, so he bashed it in. Really interesting reversal there. And I think a poignant and important moment where it shows that characters are not what they appear on the surface, again, necessarily. Sometimes there's something else going on, and you can't predict what people are based on how they look or how they necessarily act, right? Very interesting. Okay. I'm so handsome, so popular, but my brother was not. I would see him crying, alone, and it was heartbreaking. But I get the impression that he didn't know how to help that, or how to reach out to him. Right? I get the feeling that Despa never did reach out to him. That's heartbreaking, too. Okay, well, anyway, let's get past that sad moment, and you can make people stronger, right? Sure, pay me. Fuck you, pay me. But also, courage. Courage is the reason. This is really important because it's applicable to Boji. What he had, the thing that distinguishes a person who can become a king from a normal person, is their courage, their ability to face adversity, their ability to continue on no matter what anybody thinks, the courage to be themselves. This is fundamentally true in all worlds, fictional and real, Courage is a powerful, powerful weapon, powerful tool. Powerful, maybe not even a weapon. I don't think courage is so much a weapon as it is armor. Something like that. But armor that helps you drive forward instead of holding you back, instead of restraining you. Courage. Yuki. I think that's right, actually. I might be wrong. Courage. The courage to take the first step. The courage to keep taking steps when people get in your way or other things get in your way. The courage to try to overcome an obstacle. Courage. Very good. Very good. Very writing. Much appreciate. And when you act courageously, people just okay, I want to extract this isolated piece of deep wisdom from the show. Courage is the thing that can make an ordinary man a king or woman. I'm not gonna whatever, or anybody in between. I'm not gonna put boundaries on it. Courage is the thing, but I'm going to say it in that way because of phrasing. Courage is the thing that can make an ordinary man a king. When second clause, when one acts with courage, people flock to them. Because courage is in short supply. Throughout the world, throughout all of human history, it exists, but it's in short supply. And the people who have it rise up. Not in any ranking, but in the realities of our systems, in the realities of our social interactions, in the realities of our world. The courageous person is the one who goes up and asks the girl or guy that they're interested in a question. The courageous one is the one who goes for that job interview, even if they don't know that they can get it. Or the courageous one is the one who quits their job and does something that they're passionate about, even if they don't know that they can survive. Courage is power. It's really, truly powerful. And without it, I think we fail. I think we will. Inevitably, because you never even try. The courage to fail is huge. So I really like this. I think it's deep truth. And maybe it's deep truth, and we talked about this in some reaction recently, in sort of the profundity addiction way where it's like a short blurb of truth that'll just slip out of your head eventually. But when it's introduced to you in the form of a piece of media like this and told as a story, it sinks a little bit deeper into our brains, I think. And so I want to highlight it, extract it out, and then bring it back to the show, because extracting it out and looking at it in isolation, like looking at it under a microscope, this is the thing that's being stated here about humanity, about people, about reality. And it's being stated this way in this show, and it applies to these characters in this way. That's a really useful way of looking at a thematic or like motivational or important thing that's inside the show. So all I did was give him the best advice to become stronger. So you can give Boji that advice as my apprentice? Yes. Give me the money. Show me the money. And so he coughs up the money. All right, you've got a potion, some toys, some clothes, which he hasn't sold, which is interesting, and a bunch of gold that he stole from Boji's castle. Sick. We're going to make you dope. I love this little yes moment because I did it, and then they got a second to delay it and do it, and that's so sick. Come into my house, and we look around, and it's a weird place. And it's great. It seems like a lovely little house. And so he opens the door, opens the window, and feels a vibe. And we use that same framing technique where we're using these 3D objects in frame. It might actually be a three-dimensional background as well, because the way that the windows are shifting and the way that the pillars on the left are shifting, I think it must be. That's really interesting, because it doesn't look 3D, but it's really well done. Anyway, this pullout gives us this feeling that I think is really, really great, because we go into this suspicious of this guy. I do, at least. I'm like, this guy's a charlatan trying to take your money. But he clasps his hands over Boji's, and we start to pull out here. And the wind blows. And he gets all serious. It's not fake. This is legit. And he feels something. You have no strength. And it hits Boji so fucking hard to go to this mentor and to be told this. To be told, there's no chance. Because that's how he takes it. You will never be strong. But there are other ways to be strong. We just take a long time between sentence 1 and sentence 2. You will never be strong. And we get to see the interaction and see the reaction from Boji. And see him shatter. This is the worst news that he could possibly ever get. And it's worse because he's been told this his entire life, and he's never fully believed it, right? Because there's something that keeps him going. Maybe it's courage. Maybe. But he finally meets somebody who is the person who might be able to make him strong, who is somebody that he has to put faith in this moment, who is somebody who is worthy to judge him. I think that's the way to put it. Worthy to judge him, and Bojji in this situation trusts his judgment. And this guy tells him, you will never be strong. And it shatters the kid. It absolutely shatters him. He fades into the background. The world closes in on him. He sadly gets up and, dead-eyed, walks away. And Despa rushes and gets in his way and he bumps into his front butt. Just a moment. I did tell you I have virtue. I've accepted my payment. I am compelled to make you stronger. And so I shall. There are other things other than physical strength which can lead to you gaining some more of your potential. And so, you will become stronger, more so than anyone. And in this moment, going from that emotional swing from it's all over to you will become stronger, more so than anyone, something that no one has ever told Bojji. Bojji just went from not sure to the most motivated fucking boy in the entire universe. He has something to apply his courage and direction to because he's been given a chance. That's a powerful lesson on both sides. One is when you feel like you're useless, you're lying to yourself. Find something else. There's something else that you're good at, that you're passionate about, that you can care about, and it will carry you through. The second thing from the other side is if you're in a position where you are trusted by someone in order to help them, to train them, to teach them, showing them where their weaknesses are is useful but dangerous. Showing them a path toward becoming great will make them absolutely inspired, and it's incredibly powerful. Showing them that they can do it and looking them in the eye and telling them, you can do it. You can be more than you are. Brain explodo. You can be more than you are. And I say this to you now, viewer, you can be more than you are if you want to. Isn't that a relief? Isn't that a powerful thing to hear? You don't have to be yourself the way that you are right now. You can be yourself and be better at it. And you can spend your whole life pursuing that and you'll achieve it. And there will still be more to achieve. It can be worth it. And you can be worth it. Go get them. Fucking great mentor-student interaction. The kind that he never got from Domas. Because Domas was never really there for him. Not really. He was there for the kingdom. Domas never... he wasn't good enough to teach him, really, because he could have only taught him the sword. But he never taught him the useful things. And that's what this is. It's fucking awesome. The expression that happens on Bojji's face and Kage's response is all just legendarily perfect. Okay, yes, great, training tomorrow. All right, so he gets drunk, he gets beat up. It's very funny. This is a goofy scene and I like it a lot. And very silly, and it's great. He's pretty weak? Yep, probably. Cute little moment, waking up, Bojji trying to do stuff. Gosh, he can't even drag it. That fucking sucks. I wonder if he'll be able to drag it soon. Maybe. Just maybe. But he learns. He puts in work. And it's just a really cute little sequence of him doing stuff and doing the fire, and the little kick of the little piece of fire is so great. This is some bad cooking, but he's having fun, and I'm okay with that. That little kick of the fire is so great. He loves it, and everybody doesn't. It's very cute. The whole idea here that he has an iron stomach because he's a giant and just doesn't approach food the same way that the others do is wonderful. The way that Despa hard trips out here. Also, some of this animation is, It reminds me of Space Dandy. That's what it reminds me of. I don't know why. Something about the warpiness of it. Anyway, it's great. It's fantastic. And he trips the fuck out and imagines giants and then realizes that this is a problem and we shall never allow him to feed us again. He must not be allowed to cook for us. All right, shall we begin? And so we do. I like this. People can become many times stronger with a weapon. I'm going to go through the whole thing. For you to get stronger, you must first know yourself very well. Hard agree. You must also know your opponent. Hard agree. People can become many times stronger with a weapon. That's interesting, because it's not just true, it's true. Guy with a sword is going to kill a guy without a sword 9 times out of 10, right? Easy. So it's true. Almost a truism. It's also true. Humans use tools. Tools make humans stronger. Humans would not be ourselves without tools. That's part of it. But also, maybe continuously seeking strength within yourself is not always right. Sometimes you need things outside of yourself to become strong. Tools, support, allies. It reads that way to me more than anything, is that sometimes you can add to yourself, is what I would say. You can accomplish more if you're willing to reach out and grab something and use it to your advantage. And that's really important in a world where a lot of the characters are named after their tool of choice, right? Apias, Supia, Domas, Soldomasta, right? That seems like a thing there. By taking up a weapon, a person learns about themselves. This also has a weird reflection. It's like by interacting with something outside of yourself, it reflects upon you and you learn yourself. And there's a moment a little bit later where Boji sees himself in the reflection of the axe, and it feels that way, right? He learns about himself in that moment, and I don't know what he learns. Same when he sees the big sword and he sees a reflection of himself trying to lift it in front of a crowd laughing at him. That's something to learn about himself, right? Just the process of choosing which weapon to take up works. So we must find one that works for you. Please wait out here. I love seeing this room. It's so fucking sick. It's a great reveal. It's really cool. Weapons of all kinds. And then there's the reflection. Right. The big axe and seeing his father standing, towering above him, learning about himself and learning that that is not for him. A little tiny axe, like a mini version of his father, right? Maybe. But no, even this is too heavy. And so he sees this reflection of himself and just himself. And he shakes it off and looks around once more and sees something up high on the wall, far, far away. And we don't get to know what it is. I'm still going to predict that it's a pen of some kind. Maybe that'll be cliche, or a feather, or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. Maybe like a needle or like a very small dagger or something would be perfect. But I don't know what he's going to choose. I just don't know. It's so interesting that this little moment has my mind just sprinting out of all the curious elements and all the possible things that it could be. I don't know, but it's very cool. Anyway, we see that he's been training with Despa. We see Kage helping daily to bring him back to his bed, which is so fucking cute, and it's such a great moment. Also making the food and being wonderful. I love this. Yeah, he ponders, blah, 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 concentrates, polishes his skills by himself. And the next line, I think, is, being alone is the spice of success. Whoa, that line echoed within me. That line resonated because I think it can be true. I think being with other people is to some extent, one of the cores of success. But the spice is being alone. The times when you think about what you're doing and why you're doing it, those are the ones that matter. That's important. It's a good line. Despa keeps dishing out wisdom. And the way that he does it so nonchalantly makes it almost sort of like float over my head in a way, but at the same time, it makes me really like this character and really come to trust him. I think he's great. The other thing that he says that's really good, as friend advice, if Boji ever looks like he's about to lose heart, please cheer him up without asking him about it. What great friend advice. Holy shit. If your friend be down, your first reaction, almost every time, is to go up to them and be like, what's wrong? Let's rehash and continue thinking about the thing that sucks for you so that I can understand and then I can empathize with you. Now, that's useful to some extent and can be helpful, especially if you can actually help with the thing. Then maybe that's useful. Most of the time, you can't help with the thing that is their thing. If they're having relationship trouble, you probably can't help. If they're having work trouble, you probably can't help. The most you can probably do is give them shitty advice that won't be applicable and make them hate you. Probably the best thing you could do is be like, hey man, I'm going to the bar. You want to go get a drink? Let's fucking go. Hey man, I'm going to the gym. You coming with? Hey friend, let's go to the beach. Let's go do something. Cheer him up without asking him about it. Some good fucking shit. Some good fucking news. Or like, depending on your relationship and depending whether this is consented to, it's important to have that beforehand, giving somebody a big hug when you want to. Just cheering them up. And then you just like, good hug. Walk away. It's really good. Really works. Works super well. Works so well. Oh, so good. Try it. It's good advice from Despa. It's good fucking advice. This is the good advice episode. All right. That was a fine meal. Away we go. Actually, he might just want to surprise you. This is why he's training alone. For sure. This little moment where we see the calluses and the raw redness forming on his hand is so beautiful. I think there's a stage of this in anything that you're passionate about. If you pick up weightlifting, for example, you're gonna grow some serious calluses from just picking up barbells, especially deadlifts. You're gonna grow some serious calluses. If you pick up guitar, man, your fingertips are gonna be bleeding, and they're gonna grow calluses, and those are gonna bleed and break too. They're gonna bleed again. But if you want to get good at guitar, you're gonna have to play until your fingers bleed or close. Pick up piano, your hands are gonna fucking hurt from sitting like that. You pick up writing with a pen, hand's gonna fucking cramp. It's gonna hurt. You're gonna have to get stronger and better at it. You pick up talking, like not just talking, but like speaking, speaking to people, speaking publicly, saying things, expressing your thoughts. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck. You're gonna fail at a lot. There's a stage like this for everything. We just get to see Boji in it, and it's beautiful. And at the end of the episode, on a good day, Boji wakes up, accomplishes his tasks, his studying, his chores, his cleaning, his run, his workout, his dodging, and it all starts coming together beautifully. And on the same day, I think, Boji goes to practice, and something unexpected happens. I heard a huge commotion. Is everything okay? And it seems like the calluses have grown in, and everything has potentially paid off. How cool is that? I think very cool. I still want to know what the weapon is. I really want to know. And that is the end of the episode. Or it would be, if there weren't one scene in a throne room. All the angles are different. And he appraises the throne for a moment, like it's familiar, before sitting down, like he's done it 1,000 times before. So, I have sacrificed another son. And we end there. I don't know what it means. I have theories, but I don't know. I'll bet you have theories too. Please, if you've seen beyond this and you actually know, don't write anything except hi or something like that. If you haven't seen Beyond This and you want to theorize and stuff in the comments, you are more than welcome to do so. Please join me in the wondering what the fuck is going on in this show train, because it's really fun. All in all, I think this was a fantastic, again, episode of Ousama Ranking. This one pushing our story forward in a very different direction, focused on the personal growth, focused on introducing Despa, and it's great at doing it, and I like the episode for that. I'm excited to see where we go from here, because now that we've had this dedicated episode to, like, training montage, we can move on from it and see what interesting things happen in the world, and that's really cool, and I'm very excited. Things are in play. Daida has reached his bottom, his peak, like his reverse peak in his arc, while Boji is reaching his peak in his arc at the moment from their weird simul arc that's going on right now. How will they continue growing and changing and shifting and breaking? And how will we line them up to collide with one another in the future? These are the questions that I wonder at, along with what is Boji's weapon, because that's an important question. I hope you've got questions too. If you want to drop any kind of comments or anything in the comments section down below, you are more than welcome to do so. Please do. Please don't spoil things in the future. And if you know what's going to happen, don't write leading comments that kind of spoil it, but don't spoil it. Yeah, just don't do that. Thank you for watching today's episode of Ousama Ranking. I hope you've enjoyed it half as much as I have. If you have, you've had a great time today, and I hope to catch you next week for more. Check us out on the Patreon for early access. It's the place to go. I said us, but I'm a person. I'm a one person. One-man band. Check me out on the Patreon. What up? So I can continue making content, because eating is important to all of us, whether you're a giant or a normal boy, and I am just a normal boy, but I do need to eat like a giant sometimes, so check that out if you'd like to, and you'll get early access to the content. That's great. Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, my anime list, all the things. Check me out, y'all. I don't care. Thank you so much for your support and for your help and for watching in general and for enjoying the show along with me. That's the whole point of it. See you next week for more. Peace.